Two people invest the exact same amount of money. One of them stops investing after 10 years. The other invests for 30, and the person who stopped early ends up richer. That's not a trick. That's math. And by the end of this video, you'll understand it better than most financial advisors explain it. But here's the part nobody tells you. The same math that builds that fortune is quietly working against you right now in your wallet. We'll get back to both of these. Stay with me. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how much one single decade can be worth to your future self, in dollars, not theory. I know what you're thinking. I've heard of compound interest. I get it. Money grows. But most people who say that can't actually do the math in their head, and that gap is costing them real money every single year. No long intro, no welcome back to the channel. Let's get into it. Right now, in 2026, the average American is carrying more credit card debt than ever before, at the highest interest rates in over a decade. This math matters more today than it did 5 years ago. Every number in this video is pulled from real 2026 data. No guessing, no rounding to make a point sound better, just the actual math. Here's the simplest way to understand compound interest. Imagine you have $1 and it grows by 10% a year. After year 1, you don't have $1 anymore, you have $1.10. But in year 2, you don't just earn 10 cents again, you earn 10% of $1.10, that's 11 cents. Your money is now making money on the money it already made. That's the entire idea. Simple interest is a straight line. Compound interest is a curve that starts slow and then explodes. For the first several years, compound interest looks boring. Almost not worth it. That's the trap inside the mechanism itself. Most people quit right before the curve gets steep. Here's a trick you can use for the rest of your life. It's called the rule of 72. Take the number 72, divide it by your interest rate, and that tells you how many years it takes your money to double. At 10% a year, your money doubles roughly every 7 years. Not grows a little, doubles. Let's make this real. $10,000, invested one time, growing at 10% a year, the historical long-term average of the U.S. stock market since 1928. After 30 years, that single $10,000 investment is worth roughly $186,000. You didn't add another cent. The money did it by itself. But here's what almost nobody explains correctly. The variable that matters most in this formula isn't the interest rate, it's time. A slightly better interest rate helps, but an extra 10 years of time changes everything. We're about to prove that with real numbers. Now here's the part that changes how you see your own wallet. Compound interest doesn't only build wealth, it destroys it, using the exact same math, just running in reverse. Right now, in 2026, the average interest rate across all credit card accounts is just under 21%. But for people who actually carry a balance month to month, that number jumps to over 22%. And if you're opening a brand new credit card today, the average rate is nearly 24%. Let's use the rule of 72 again, but this time on debt. 72 divided by 22 is a little over 3. That means credit card debt, left alone, can double in about 3 years. Picture $5,000 in credit card debt. You make the minimum payment every month, nothing extra. At a 22% rate, that minimum payment barely touches the actual balance, because most of it is going straight to interest. Paying only the minimum, a $5,000 balance can take well over a decade to clear, and by the time it's gone, you can end up paying more in interest than the original amount you borrowed. This isn't a small problem. Americans are currently carrying over $1.25 trillion in total credit card debt. That's not a typo. Trillion, with a T. Here's a specific moment. You're standing in your kitchen, your phone's in your hand. There's something in your cart you don't need yet. Your thumb hovers over the button. That one thought, I'll pay it off next month, is the same trap in miniature. Because that same delay logic is what stops people from investing too. Waiting one single year to start investing, assuming the same 10% average return, can cost you tens of thousands of dollars by retirement. Not because you did anything wrong, just because you waited. But waiting isn't a small mistake. It's the most expensive mistake in personal finance, and it's completely invisible until you actually run the numbers. We're about to run them. Remember the two people from the beginning of this video? Let's finally show you their exact numbers. Person A invests $200 a month, starting at age 25. They do this for exactly 10 years, then stop completely. They never add another dollar. They just let it grow, untouched, until age 65. Person B waits 10 years. They start at age 35, investing the same $200 a month, but they keep contributing every single month for 30 years straight, all the way to age 65. Person B put in 3 times more of their own money. $24,000 from person A, $72,000 from person B. At age 65, assuming the same 10% historical average return, person A, who only contributed for 10 years, ends up with more money than person B, who contributed for 30 years. The only difference was 10 years of head start. That's it. Not more money. Not a better investment. Just time. That gap between them, the one caused entirely by waiting a single decade, is the most expensive number in this entire video. Now, an honest moment. That smooth 10% curve is an average. The real stock market doesn't move in a straight line. Some years it's up 20%. Some years it drops just as hard. The average evens out over decades, but the ride itself is bumpy. This video is for education, not personalized financial advice. Markets can go down as well as up, and past results don't promise future ones. But even with all of that uncertainty, one thing stays true across nearly every long stretch of market history. Time in the market has been the single biggest factor separating people who build wealth from people who don't. So knowing all of this, what do you actually do with it? 4 things. Simple ones. First, automate your investing. Set up an automatic transfer the same day you get paid, before you have a chance to spend it or talk yourself out of it. This solves the "I'll start next year" trap from before, permanently. Second, pay attention to fees. This is the part almost nobody talks about. A low-cost index fund can charge as little as 3 cents for every $100 you invest per year. Some actively managed funds charge nearly a full dollar for that same 100. Over 30 years, that difference in fees alone can cost you tens of thousands of dollars, quietly, without you noticing. Think of fees as a slow leak in the jar. It doesn't look like much in year 1. By year 30, it's a completely different amount of money sitting in that jar. Third, raise your contribution a little every year, especially when your income goes up. Even an extra 1% of your paycheck, added consistently, compounds the same way your money does. Fourth, and this might be the hardest one, stay boring. The people who do best with this math aren't the ones chasing the next hot stock. They're the ones who pick something simple and then leave it alone for decades. Every time you try to time the market perfectly, you risk missing the exact days that drive most of the long-term growth. Boring, consistent, and left alone beats clever almost every time. Automate it. Watch the fees. Raise it yearly. Keep it boring. That's the entire playbook. You don't need to be a genius to use this math. You just need to start, and then get out of your own way. So, let's go back to where we started. 2 people invest the exact same amount of money. One of them stops after 10 years. The other keeps going for 30. And the one who stopped early still comes out ahead, because they simply started sooner. The best time to start this was 10 years ago. The second best time is